What's up YouTube, it's Xurkitree here and welcome to episode 228 on my channel where we're going to be checking out the top 20 best cards from the Unifying Minds set. The set list is officially available at PokeBeach, definitely check that website out, it's very fantastic. And today we're going to be counting down the top 20 best cards that you should own and definitely put in your binder because we're going to need them for post-rotation content, a lot of staples, a lot of great GX cards. But without further ado, we're going to start this list off with number 20. Number 20 is going to be Aerodactyl GX. 210 HP for stage 1, not too shabby. It has the Wind of Autumn ability, making sure that the opponent basic Pokemon in the active slot needs 1 cardless energy more to attack. Very disruptive to say the least. And it also has the Wild Dive GX, dishing out 50 damage for every energy that the opponent's active Pokemon has. So against Pikarom, this guy will just eat that up. But against Charizard, you're also dishing out a flat 200 damage if they have 4 energies attached. So a very solid card nevertheless. It also has a free retreat cost. So having a free retreat cost stage 1 and decent attacks and ability will put this card on the list. It also comes, I'm just going to cheat a little bit, you definitely want to have Pokemon Research Lab as well, because Research Labs will make sure they can get 2 Pokemon that evolve from unidentified fossil and put them down on the bench immediately. Why is this great? Well, that means they can just get them out without having to rely on unidentified fossil, and that is way quicker. On your first turn, we can definitely go with this because there's also going to be an item card which lets us flip 2 coins for every hatch, search your deck for a stadium card, and you definitely want to get this first turn. Maybe pair with Jirachi, you're definitely going to find this card, and with Green's Exploration as well, so you can use Green's Exploration or whatever you want. Get this card on the roll, just smack 2 Pokemon that evolve from unidentified fossil, and you're already good to go. The bad thing is that if you use this stadium card, your turn automatically ends, but on the beginning of the turn we can't attack either way. So this combo here goes on the number 20 slot. Number 19 is gonna be Tapu Fini. It is in here for the Nature Wave attack. Tapu Fini here with a cardless energy can dish out 100 damage if the opponent has an Ultra Beast in play. AKA this guy eats up Blacephalon alive. So Blacephalon GX is definitely going down with a cardless energy thanks to this card. The only good thing about the Tapu Fini here is you can search it out with communication, but other than that, there's going to be a bad thing about it that is not searchable through any other methods. We don't have Nest Ball, it has way too much HP, we don't have things like Dive Ball, so searching this out is going to be very hard. So even if you only play like 2 copies, you'll definitely want to put this in a deck with communication. That's the only way you can reliable search this out and then blow up Blacephalon. So if you're having troubles against Blacephalon, 1 copy of that should be sufficient. Number 18 is gonna be Nigh City. Nigh City, pretty simple ability, effect on the card. Basic darkness Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. So very similar like Ultra of the Moon coming just as a replacement. This is gonna be nice in the Dark Box deck, having free retreat on almost every darkness Pokemon. There's a lot of darkness Tag Team GXs in here, and as you know, Tag Teams are all basic. Amazing card having free retreat. Also with the reduction of gusting cards, Guzma is out, Lycanroc GX from Guardians Rising is out. You're definitely gonna have a nice time just retreating for free. Then the next card on the list is gonna be number, we have 20, 90, 18, 17. It is Jirachi GX. This is in here for the Psychic Zone. Don't apply Psychic Weakness when Pokemon, both yours and your opponents, get damaged from attacks. Okay, you don't have to apply Weakness. This helps out fighting type Pokemon like Machamp and the Mars Shadow Tag Team GX, but more importantly will help out Pokemon that are weak to Psychic. Think about Mew and Mewtwo Tag Team GX, which definitely gonna be in this list as well. Just put it down and your weakness of Psychic gets removed. This also helps for the opponent, but you're definitely gonna need this in a mirror match. So a very great card all around. And it also has the Star Search. Search your deck for an energy card and attach it to one of your Psychic type Pokemon. So this could be used sometimes when you have this in the active position. It also has Star Shield GX. 100 damage, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So you can also copy this with Mew and Mewtwo Tag Team GX, but this is very similar like the Dawnwings GX with the Moon's Eclipse GX. Okay, moving forward, number 16 is gonna be the Mega Sableye and Tyrantiar GX. This is in here for the Greedy Crush. You could also check out the Giga Fall GX, but this is kind of a ridiculous attack here. We're just gonna focus on Greedy Crush because if you knock something out, if you knock a GX or EX out with this attack, you can take one more prize card. And in a dark box, you're definitely gonna be putting one copy in here with Weavile GX, which we're gonna feature as well in this video. You can move around the Darkness energies, and as soon as you have 5 energies, this guy can actually take quite the number of prize cards. Imagine you knocking out a tag team, you get 4 prize cards for that, so that's why it's in here. Giga Fall is just an attack which dishes out 250, could also sometimes knock out a tag team, for instance a Pikarom, but if you have at least 5 extra energies, you can just destroy the opponent's deck by discarding 15 cards on the top of their deck. Okay, moving forward, let's just take my paper with me so I know which number this is. It's gonna be number 15. Latios GX is another one of those Pokemon you can put into your Malamar deck that has an amazing attack, Tag Purge. For 120 damage, it also has a side effect during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to the by tag team Pokemon to this Pokemon. So it cannot get damaged by tag teams if you use the Tag Purge, and against the quad tag team decks, for instance Sylveon and Gardevoir, they're screwed automatically. Against other decks like a Rashizard, they're gonna have a hard time. It also has Clear Vision GX until the end of the game. Wow, does it really say at the end of the game? Your opponent can't use any GX moves. So this is pretty much blocking like all the GX moves in game. You use your GX move to get rid of your opponent's GX moves. This could be very important against those setup GX moves, or maybe for instance against Pikarom with the Tag Ball GX. If you want to get rid of that, this is the way to go. The only bad thing is that you have to have 4 or if you have 4 or less Pokemon in play, this Pokemon can attack, but most of the times a Malamar deck will have a full bench, and then you can use Tag Purge, bam, out of nowhere the opponent can no longer attack you with tag teams. So that's why it's in here, number 15. Number 14, another Darkness Pokemon. It's gonna be Umbreon and Darkrai GX. With the Black Lance, is very similar like Night Spear back in the days, but a little bit more buffed. You can just 150 damage to the active and 60 damage to one of the opponent's GXs. So you can just set up KOs with this. Very amazing because it's very synergible with, of course, Dark Moon GX. Your opponent can't play any trainer cards from their hand. This is gonna one of those GX moves that you want to be using early game. Just attach of the turn, use that Dark Moon. The opponent can no longer play trainer cards, no items, no stadiums, no supporters. They just say pass, you attach again, and that's why this can sometimes attack from the second turn if you use Weavile and Nagandel. So this is gonna be amazing. Not only that, if you have at least 5 extra Darkness energies onto it, you can also, let me just state this here. Yeah, if you have at least 5 extra Darkness energies attached to it, your opponent's active Pokemon is automatically knocked out. So this can knock out anything if you have 6 energies in total. It can lock the opponent from the trainer cards, and it also has sniping capabilities, so that's why it is so good. It is here on the number 14 spot. Number 13, it's gonna be Weavile GX. This is in here very similar like the Hey Dragon we got back in the days of Dragons Exalted, I believe. It was very amazing to just move around energies. We have here the Shadow Connection. You can move as often as you like during your turn. You can move a Darkness energy from one of your Pokemon to another. So you have full control over your energies. Only Darkness energies though, so no unit energies. It does state basic Darkness energies. You can use Claw Slash 130. The good thing is that if you're facing against Gengar Mimikyu, you can one-shot that. But Night Command GX is also very interesting. Search your deck for as many basic Pokemon as you like and put them onto your bench. So in other words, if you just attach to a Sneasel and the second turn you evolve, you can use that GX move and get all of your setup Poipoles, Darkness Pokemon you want. So Dark Box will definitely be real, but the best thing about this card is the ability to swap around all your Darkness energies, and that's why it is the heart and soul of any Darkness deck. Moving forward, we're gonna have the number 12 spot. It's gonna be Dragonite GX. This is gonna be a stage 2 dragon type Pokemon. You're not gonna be running rare candies and stuff, although you could be using that together with, of course, triple accelerated energy if you want to be using that insane attack. But it's gonna be better to just put this card in the discard so you can copy it with Mew and Mewtwo Tag Team GX. This is very great. Why is it so high up on the list? Thanks to Sky Judgment, dishing out 270 damage. That's enough to knock out almost anything relevant in the game except for the Mega Sableye Tyrantiar Tag Team GX we just talked about, and also Wailord the Magikarp Tag Team GX. But other than that, everything goes down. That's why I love this card so much. It also has Mac Delivery GX. Draw cards until you have 10 cards in the hand. You may discard any number of cards in your hands before you use this. So yeah, you can just discard your entire hand, draw 10 cards. Very interesting card here. You're not going to be using that GX move a lot. Maybe if you get reset stamped, you might be using that, but other than that, you're just going to use it for that Sky Judgment. Moving forward, an annoying card. Do you remember Hoopa from Shining Legends? It is back. It has Keldeo GX. With the Holy Heart ability, prevents all effective attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's active GX or EX. All tag teams are GXs. A lot of great GXs are out there like Blacephalon, Rayquaza, etc. This guy is invincible against those types of attacks. It can only get attacked by a regular Pokemon, so non-GXs, and it has 170 HP. It also has, of course, the Sonic Edge, which goes through any effect of the opponent's Pokemon, so 110 damage, and also has Resolution Sword. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is pretty much Dangerous Rogue GX. You do need 3 energies for that. There's no longer the viability of Aqua Patch. Maybe you can try it out with Quagsire and Nagandel and being this as the main star, or just as a quad Keldeo GX deck with a lot of healing cards. Yeah, not a lot of Pokemon will be able to one-shot this Pokemon. So I do predict like quad Keldeo decks because the ability is just so ridiculously broken, and without a little Muk to shut this down, the only way you want to counter Keldeo is by running a couple of Power Plants. Moving forward, we are gonna have the number 10 spot, and it is Xurkitree. Yeah, do you remember Baby Buzzwole and how it was so broken, very good, dishing out 30 damage, and on a specific turn you dish out 120? This does the exact same thing. If your opponent has exactly 3 prize cards remaining, you just have 120 damage for a single lightning energy. And the damage cap doesn't stop there. Of course, we have Electro Powers to boost that damage up. So with 2 Electro Powers, Xurkitree will be able to dish out 180 damage for a single energy. That means a lot of GXs like Blacephalon GX, for instance, goes down. This is a very solid card and will be used in, of course, the Ultra Beast decks. Here it goes, it even swaps out of my hand because it's just that good. Next up, Great Potion on the number 9 spot. Great Potion is one of those cards, very simple, heal 50 damage from your active GX. This is going to be fantastic, as mentioned in those quad Keldeo decks. You just run in a couple of these potions. Although we also seen that Mixed Herbs saw a lot of play with Reshizard and even with Gengar Mimikyu Tag Team GX. This is going to be an additional way to just have extra healing. Maybe in things like Venusaur, Celebi, if that is even viable anymore. You can just have a lot of healing cards. Grass automatically has a lot of healing with the Life Force Prism Star. You can be using the Shaymans from Lost Thunder. You'll be using Great Potion. You can use Mixed Herbs. A lot of healing options. So this is actually a very solid card for GXs, and definitely bulky GXs to say the least. Moving forward, number 8 is gonna be Garchomp and Giratina. The reason it's not higher up on the list is that I think that Ultra Necrozma is still a little bit better. I have to be honest here, so that's why it only flies in at the number 8 spot. It is definitely very good. It pairs really well with Malamar. Of course, Malamar, we got used to that thanks to Forbidden Light. Attaching a bunch of Psychic Energies, use Viridian Force to search out your fighting energy, and you're good to go. The first attack dishes out 40 damage to one of the opponent's Pokemon, so that is sniping capability that is best. If the opponent tries to run things like Ditto Prism Star, that even goes down, which is very hilarious. We have the second attack here, which dishes out 160 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon already has damage counters, you dish out 240 instead. Can you comprehend what this means? This is a one-hit KO on a Pikarom. Let's say you use the Distortion Door ability of the Giratina from, I think that was Lost Thunder as well. The insane Giratina can just set up damage counters on the field, while you also just build up this attack to dish out a lot of damage. We also have GGs and GX. You just discard one of your opponent's Pokemon and all cards attached to it. Maybe one of the threats you don't want to face, you can discard it immediately. And you have 3 extra fighting energies in addition to the attack cost. You can discard 2 Pokemon instead. You won't be able to get this attack cost going, but definitely sometimes you use GG and GX against like a fully charged Pikarom, discard everything, and we're done with it. Moving forward, tag teams have it good with Tag Switch here on the number 7 spot. Move up to 2 energies from one of your Pokemon tag teams to one of another Pokemon. So this is gonna be a must in Pikarom decks. You can just swap around the energies of one of the tag teams to whatever you please. So let's say, oh, I want to be attacking with something else instead of the Pikarom. You can do that. Oh, I just want to get my energies to an undamaged Pikarom. No problem, Tag Switch is good. Also, in the Gardevoir Sylveon Tag Team GX, with of course that first attack to get a fairy energy on the bench, you can just use Tag Switch to move those around immediately. So Gardevoir Sylveon Tag Team GX will also enjoy a card like this. Moving forward, this is gonna be another GX. It's the Raichu and Alolan Raichu Tag Team GX on the number 6 spot. It is very amazing with the Tandem Shock. It is pretty similar like to the first impression attack of Golisopod or Zapdos with a Thunderous Assault. If you come from the bench, you dish out more damage and the opponent is automatically paralyzed. So base damage 80, if you come from the bench during this turn, bam, 160 and automatic paralyzation. Don't sleep on this because, yeah, without Guzma, without Acerola, a lot of decks will definitely suffer if they are paralyzed. Although there's still Switch, I know there's Escape Board which lets you retreat out of paralyzation, but paralyzation is definitely going to be strong in certain decks. Or actually against certain decks. Definitely a one-of in every Pikarom deck, in my opinion. Also, Lightning Ride GX, they should have 150 damage. And then you switch this Pokemon, with one of your bench Pokemon. And then if you have at least 2 extra Lightning Energies, so let's say you have 5 Lightning Energies equipped to this Raichu and Alolan Raichu GX, you can dish out 100 damage more, that's 250. Sometimes with an Electro Power, that's a one-hit KO on anything in the format. So that's why it's very, very good, this card. Moving forward, number 5, it's gonna be Nagandel GX. Nagandel GX is part of the Beast Box deck. Beast Box, you know, Nagandel, the one that we got used to with Beast Raid. Pair that with Stack Attack and a bunch of Ultra Beast, it's a good deck. Well, what does it lack? Yeah, consistency, and this brings it to that deck. You get, of course, Ultra Conversion. Once during your turn, you may discard an Ultra Beast from your hand and then draw 3 cards. Why is this so amazing? Yeah, you can just use Ultra Space to guarantee an Ultra Beast in your hand. So you can have, of course, we all know how powerful Trade was with Zoroark. The Ultra Beast Box decks will definitely have the same consistency. Just have Ultra Space, 4 copies of that, maybe a split line, 2 of these Nagandel, 2 of the actually the Beast Raid Nagandel, and you're gonna have one of the most powerful decks after rotation. And also we have Venom Shot. If you rely on triple Carless, actually triple accelerated energy, you just can use this for 2 attachments and then you can snipe 170 damage to one of the opponent's Pokemon. You also have to discard 3 energies, but yeah, actually 2 energies, or yeah, only 2 energies. Yeah, sorry for the mistake here. You just discard the triple accelerated energy and you're good. So that way you can snipe 170, and 170 is a one-hit KO on things like, of course, the Darkrai GX, which is definitely going to see an increase in play after we lose Tapu Fini GX. We're gonna have Injection GX. You can add 1 random card from the opponent's discard pile. Actually, you can choose which card you just grab from there and just put it as their face down prize card. So if there's something like a Giratina in the discard pile, just put it as a prize card so it doesn't come back. This could be used with, of course, the Beast Energy from time to time. So I definitely love this card thanks to the ability and the sniping capability. So I'm just a huge fan of the Beast Box deck. So that's why it's so high up on the list. Next up, a stadium card. It's gonna be Big Oven, or actually Giant Furnace. Limitless TCG just got this translation. Giant Furnace or Big Oven, depends on how it is translated in the English print. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a card from their hand. If they do, that player searches their deck for up to 2 fire energies, reveals them and put them into the hand. How many decks run Viridian Forest? Yeah, exactly, a ton. And that is already very great, sees a ton of play. Can you imagine using 2 Viridian Forest at once? Well, this is what this is actually all about. You can easily grab your fire energies. No longer do we have to rely on like things like what card is that? Discarding 2 cards from the hand and getting, of course, 4 fire energies from the deck. That is going to be one of the cards from Dragon Majesty. No longer you're going to have to rely on that. You can rely on Giant Furnace as a stadium card. Do just easily grab those fire energies. We can abuse that by using, of course, Salazzle to draw cards. You can use Welder immediately after you use Giant Furnace, so that's why this card is so powerful. If fire wasn't broken already, this even gives it more capabilities. Just smack a stadium card down, you automatically have energies, and no longer have to say, oh, I don't have an energy to use my Welder. No, you have Giant Furnace, or aka Big Oven, and that's gonna be fantastic. Another way around, you can grab them from the deck, but there's also Fire Crystal to grab them from the discard pile, so that's why Giant Furnace is just amazing, to say the least. I'm putting it here on the number 4 spot. I'm very convinced that every fire deck will be running this. Next up, number 3, Cherrish Ball. Cherrish Ball will be in every single GX based deck. Why is that? It searches your deck for a GX, simple as that. We no longer have Nazball, we no longer have Ultra Ball. This is a reliable way to search GXs out. Not only can you have draw support with it, you can just put some Dedenne GX in your deck. This will get you out of nasty situations. Oh no, the opponent used Reset Stamp. Oh no, there's nothing I can do. Cherrish Ball, search Dedenne, off and rolling. Oh, I need my main attacker, Cherrish Ball, you get it. So Cherrish Ball is just so fantastic, will be in every GX based deck, and even certain decks will just run a couple of this with Dedenne just to have extra consistency. So that's why it's here on the number 3 spot, well deserved, Cherrish Ball. Now, number 2. Mewtwo Mew Tag Team GX. With the ability Perfection, this Pokemon can use any attacks of any GX or EX in the discard pile or in play, and it doesn't specify basics, so that means you can put stage 2 GXs in your discard pile and start using those attacks. For instance, you could be using Altaria GX from Dragon Majesty. You put that in the discard pile, and then you can use its attack to just be Brightstone to become invincible. Even a better example, you can put that Dragonite GX we just talked about in the discard pile and start using its attacks without having to even get a Dratini or Dragonair in your deck. That's just so versatile. That's why it's on the number 2 spot. We can copy any attack. Do you know what this even means? You can just have the versatility of whatever. Maybe you put Greninja GX in your deck and you start using, of course, that H-Slash and whatever the hell you want. Get yourself back in the deck, you get healed automatically. Just such a powerful card, and if that wasn't good enough, you can just dish out 200 flat, and if this Pokemon has 1 extra energy, let's say with Malamar versions, you could get 4 energies equipped, bam, then you heal all damage of all of your Pokemon, so even against spread, you're gonna be an amazing card. So I do think this will definitely see a play at Worlds. It's just so good not to use. You can pair it with Jirachi GX to remove your weakness. You can pair it with stage 2 GXs that have insane attacks. Even the Solgaleo promo definitely has an amazing attack with Turbo Strike, so definitely an amazing card, putting it on the number 2 spot. Number 1, are you guys ready? It is a Reset Stamp. This is a groundbreaking, crucial card that just, yeah, it's very similar like N. First, I'm just gonna read the card. Your opponent shuffles their hand into the deck and then draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. Why is this so good? This is a comeback card. We're in dire need of a comeback card. So let's say, oh no, you still need to take 3 more prize cards. The opponent only needs to take 1 more prize card. You smack down Reset Stamp. They have only 1 card in the hand. They don't have their ideal board position. They can no longer draw cards, and they're in a top deck position. They can brick from it. So Reset Stamp, very nice. You can search it out with Jirachi sometimes. You can search it out with Green's Exploration. You can just use Voltner and find this. This is an item card which does the exact same effect as an N. So that's why it's just so powerful. Definite number 1 spot. A lot of decks will definitely run 1 copy, if not more copies of this insane card. That's why I'm putting it here. Well convinced on my number 1 spot. It's a comeback card, and definitely gonna see a lot of play. Games will be won thanks to using a Reset Stamp at the correct time. Anyhow, this was it for the top 20 best cards from Unifying Minds. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the list. Do you have certain cards that I forgot to mention that you think are very great? Definitely put them in the comment section. Definitely be reading over all the comments. And are you guys ready for the 2nd of August, the release date of Unifying Minds? I'm curious to hear your opinion about this. Put it in the comment section. Dire to hear, of course, your opinion about this fantastic set. This was it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to demolish the like button. As always, subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.